Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a German theologian during World War II. He openly opposed the Nazi Party even when they first came to power in 1933, 6 years before the war started. Just 2 or 3 days after Hitler had come to power, Bonhoeffer went on national radio condemning his views. He saw where this could end up. He was one of the first voices in the German church to condemn the persecution of the Jewish people in Germany. And he even arranged to have Jews smuggled out of the country and into neutral Switzerland during the time of the war. Although he had the opportunity to go to America, Bonhoeffer went back to Germany to be with his people during the time of the war. He even conducted underground seminary schools teaching future clergy the ways of Jesus in an underground setting because his views were not liked by the Nazis of the time. Bonhoeffer also worked as a spy, trying to form relationships with the Allied nations, and was involved in conspiracies against Hitler and the Nazi regime. On the 5th of April 1943, Bonhoeffer was imprisoned. In 1945, the Allies were very close to defeating the Nazis. They were closing in on Berlin, and the Nazis decided to kill some of their prisoners. On the 9th of April, just 2 weeks before the Nazis fell, Bonhoeffer was led out naked from his cell and executed. Although he was a normal person like you or I, Bonhoeffer stood up for what he believed in, and he would not be moved by what was happening in the culture around him at the time. As well as living in this way, he also preached what he would later practice. He wrote a lot about discipleship and what it meant to follow Jesus. He said that Christians should not flee from the world, but act within it. This is what it means to live a consecrated life, to not flee from this world, but to live the Jesus way of living within it. Bonhoeffer had the chance to go to America, but he chose to stay with his people and to be present in the sufferings of the German people at the time of the war. We may not be in the same context that Bonhoeffer was in all those years ago, but how often do we compromise on our beliefs because we don't want to rock the boat? Bonhoeffer predicted that a world that had come of age would need less of the type of God that Richard Dawkins, for example, calls a God of the gaps, and so he called the church to stand up and take their place. We as followers of Jesus must stand up for the principles that we live by, not only with words, but more importantly with our actions. Christianity without the living Christ is inevitably Christianity without discipleship. And Christianity without discipleship is always Christianity without Christ. We must live as followers of this living Christ, standing on the shoulders of giants that have gone before us, like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who showed us what it truly means to live for Jesus Christ, even in the midst of the most darkest times.